Okay, we're back for contract part number 1. This is going to have to be divided into 2 parts just because of the length of it. So here again, you'll see dear and your client's name will need to be put there. And then on the first blank, we're going to compensation. So here, there is, I'm just going to read it. There will be a design fee for conceptualization, window treatment sketches, and 2 alternative layouts or space plans for a second bedroom/office, totaling X amount of dollars. So what you want to do here is estimate how many hours each of these things will take you. For me, probably looking at about 5 hours and just going on the high end of asking $125 an hour. That would be $625. So I multiplied my hourly rate of $125 times my estimated amount of time, which was 5 hours, and came up with $625. So that's how that works. And then there's a period there. Beginning of the new sentence is X amount of dollars or 1/2 will be due upon signing this agreement. So I usually just put in about the half amount so they can see what that would be. So in this case, I would put $300. So again, if you are charging $50 an hour at startup, then you would multiply that times approximately 7 hours because it's going to take you a little bit longer than it would take me. So 50 times 7 and that amount, and then about half of that amount goes here. Okay, this next section for compensation talks about, what does it talk about? Blank percentages of the cost of merchandise, furniture, and furnishings purchased, and blank percentage of the cost of all services performed by trade contractors and artisans recommended by the designer. So this goes into a little bit more detail about how this is not a commission. This is for services rendered by the designer because you are coordinating these services, and this is a fee for professional services over and beyond your commission. So for these percentages, I usually say anywhere from 20 to 30%. Going a little bit higher, like toward the 30%, I think is most effective and will still make you a little bit of money, you know, for the time that you're spending there. Okay. Sorry, this would be 30% as well. Okay. Here on the next page, we're still on part 1 for the contract. If the client purchases furniture or furnishings that they have previously told you to purchase, and that you have that agreement and that was part of the scheme that you have prepared, that should be all that there is to it. It should just be over and done with it. But if the client purchases something that you guys have already decided on, then the client shall be required to pay for your time spent. Because let's say you selected it and you were searching for the perfect piece and they went ahead and purchased it and said, oh, never mind, I got that. You still are out all of that time that you took to look for your for those pieces. So you need to be paid for your hourly rate of this. So sometimes designers will put a discounted rate because they didn't have to go through with the actual purchase or the purchase order of it or receiving it. So they won't charge the full amount. I don't discount it very much at all. So if I was charging $125 per hour, I would only reduce it about $25. If you're charging $50 an hour, I would only reduce it to $40 because that's still, I mean, time is money and you still spent your time on that. Next case scenario, however, if the client is in possession of an exact specification or if they're in possession of a purchase order for a specific item as prepared by you, and then uses that information to make that purchase away from you, independently of you, then the client needs to pay either this amount or a percentage. So in that case, I would say 50% to kind of make an impact and to make sure that they're not continuously doing that. So 50% of the purchase price of the item paid by the client, because that will make sure that they don't continuously do it. And then if you skip down a little bit, if the client finds an item that the designer has not been required to specify, so this is over and beyond something that you have found, probably something that you don't think they need, probably something that they fell in love with and you're not too keen on, is usually the situation. And the designer is asked to be the purchasing liaison. The compensation will be reduced to a lower percentage. And that is usually like a 20%. And that just means that you are still going to be making the 30% difference, which I'll get into this because remember I'll get into that on the next page. And then, however, if the designer resources other items at the request of the client, then the designer shall be compensated at the regular rate of, and then this goes to the 30%. So 20 and 30 make up 50, which is half of 100%, which we're going to talk about in the next video.